Well, ladies and gentlemen, the 2024 election is underway. That is why I've started my series, Who Is, to talk about the potential candidates. Today we have a doozy. We're going to talk about Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
And as we all now recognize, the COVID vaccines were neither safe nor effective. I announced my candidacy for the Democratic nomination for President of the United States. My entire life, I believe that my uncle was killed by a conspiracy.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is the son of the late Robert F. Kennedy Sr. and nephew to John F. Kennedy. Just as his brother was assassinated 6 years earlier, RFK Jr.'s father was killed by a gunman on June 6, 1968. His legacy as part of the Kennedy family has made him a popular voice in politics, culminating to this 2024 election. Now, let's get to some moments that made RFK Jr. famous and show us what he's all about.
I've come here today to announce my candidacy for the Democratic nomination for President of the United States. I think that the general theme of my speech was this corrupt merger of state and corporate power, which is turning our country into a corporate kleptocracy, into a system of socialism for the rich, and this kind of a cushy socialism for the rich, and this kind of brutal, merciless capitalism for the poor. It keeps us in a state of war. It bails out banks at the same time that My entire life, I believe that my uncle was killed not by a conspiracy, by a group of people. What I've said is vaccines, I'm not anti-vaccine. I think vaccines should be subject to the same level of rigorous testing as other medications. And that is the only thing, my only position. Listen, I fought to get mercury out of fish for 40 years, and nobody called me anti-fish. I'm not anti-vaccines just because I want safe vaccines. And I think everybody wants safe vaccines. And as we all now recognize, the COVID vaccines were neither safe nor effective. And so I'm proud that President Trump likes me, even though I don't agree with him on most of his issues. Because I don't want to alienate people. I want to bring people together. I'm proud that all these people like me and that I have independent supporters and Democratic supporters, and that I'm able to bring a lot of people. Every Democrat says, I want to end the polarization. But how do you do that without talking to people who don't agree with you? I'm here to declare myself an independent candidate.
I want to talk about the title sponsor for this video, Gulag America. Gulag America is an apparel company that sells patriotic clothing for both men and women. Some of my favorite ones, they have a lot of Second Amendment shirts. Those are my favorite. But as we enter the cold season, they do have hoodies. They have long sleeve shirts as well. If you use my code JoshCar10, you will get 10% off at gulagamerica.com. Again, that is JoshCar10 at gulagamerica.com for fantastic apparel. They make great gifts, especially as we go into the holidays, so go check them out at gulagamerica.com. Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about how RFK Jr. could really affect the 2024 election. Reuters found that as many as 1 in 7 voters are highly considering RFK Jr. To vote for. And that essentially paves the way for Donald Trump to potentially run, as most of those voters come from the Democrat Party. RFK Jr. has recently announced that he will be running as an independent instead of a Democrat because of their unwillingness to hold debates or a primary. If this happened, he would be pretty much one of the most popular independents in this century. So that is what we have to look forward to. Now, going into my own opinion of RFK Jr., personally, as a conservative, I don't agree with everything he says, but it is refreshing to hear someone on the other side of the aisle that believes what he does and actually holds the fire to some of these institutions that we've believed in for so long that really have let us down. The CIA is a great example, as RFK Jr. has expressed that they had a part to play in the death of his uncle and his father. He also is very skeptical of what many people consider science, which is really just the vaccines and telling people that if you don't take them, then you don't believe in science. He's been a very critical voice of that, and I'm very pro his ability to criticize those things. So I think he's a very refreshing voice on the left, and I'm excited to see what he does as an independent as he takes on Donald Trump and Joe Biden. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. As always, please as well comment down below what you thought about this video. Do you agree with some of my analysis on RFK Jr? Are you going to potentially vote for him? As well as subscribe if you got a little bit of value out of this video. Thanks, guys.